on this weekend, obviously, we know Saturday 5:30. There is a massive, massive game, and I'm not talking about the World Club Championships or whenever that is. Liverpool host Arsenal. And we're going to get into some of the head-to-heads, the tactics, and everything else. But I want to ask a question based on a very interesting statement really made by Jurgen Klopp. And I'm going to ask this to JJ first. Do Arsenal scare Liverpool and Klopp in the sense of he's really desperate for the fans to make a noise? You almost alluded to, without the fans, I don't think we can beat them. What was your take on him saying that?
I think he respects what Arsenal are. But, I mean, it's nothing compared to what Arteta was doing a couple of seasons ago, playing speakers and getting the players to train with You'll Never Walk Alone playing in the background. So, I mean, who's scared of who? I'm not really sure. I mean, Arteta saw that, you know, up 2-0 up in the game still didn't secure them a victory. Do you know what I mean? They still ended up drawing the game. They haven't won at Anfield. I think Klopp just understands the power that the fans can have at Anfield. And I think you'd be silly as a manager to not go see something and not want everything in place for a big game, which it is. I think imagine he turned around and said, actually, you guys be quiet, it's fine. Don't attend, it's all right. It's all right. We'll just do, I mean, we'll play the game instead. It's like, no, like you got to use our fans. The fans are a massive part of what Anfield is. But I wouldn't call it like fear. I'd say it's respect. And I think Arsenal should take it as respect. Yeah, he respects what Arsenal can bring. He knows Arsenal are a good team at this moment in time. But fear, I mean, if anything, Arteta is the one probably more fearful than anything. Do you know what I mean? Because he hasn't won there, and he knows if he doesn't, the pressure starts to ramp up on him very quickly because he hasn't got any credit in the bank. So that's the way I look at it personally.
How about yourself, Gunners? Are you fearful of this game? You haven't won there since 2012, but then you hear these words from Jurgen Klopp about essentially saying, without the fans making enough noise, it's going to be very, very hard for us to win. How are you feeling about it individually ahead of this huge game?
I'll let you go
first, Matt. Oh, shall I go? This game can go either one or two ways. It can either be a wicked game, end to end, this and that. We're going at each other, jabs, or it can be defense versus defense, and it can be possibly a 0-0 or a 1-0. Somebody just gets a goal. Somebody just gets over the edge and scores it. That's the way this game can go. Obviously, for me, I'm coming into this game. I'm confident in my team. I'm confident that we can go there and do a job. But I'm also wary, and I show Liverpool the respect that they deserve, because even though, like I said in the match reaction after Liverpool and Man United, when you asked me, I said this changes nothing. Even though they lost against, or they drew against Man United, it was technically a loss for them because they could have won that game. When they drew against Man United, look what they came and done to West Ham. They played them off the park. But it's whether he plays that kind of team, because he made a lot of changes in that team, if I'm not wrong. I think he brought different players in. He changed the team around a bit. So yeah, listen, it depends on how the game is approached. But for me, I'm going into this confident. I think my team can do the job, and I think we can go there and we can get the win against Liverpool.
Well, it's a tricky place to go, mate. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
You don't have to tell me, bro. I scored 2 goals there, left with a draw, bro. I know how hard it is to go there,
no, it's a difficult place to play football, and listen, it's going to be a good one. I'm hoping for a draw, obviously, because that'll be a great result for City. But I think whoever wins this game probably is. Do they go favourites for the title? Do you know what I mean? I think they might be. You know, whoever wins the game. I think it's a great opportunity for Arsenal, because if they can win this game, I think that tells me more about their mentality than it does their quality. You know what I mean? We all know Arsenal are a good side, right? But if they can go win the football match, I think that tells you, this team is serious, man. It's probably one of the most difficult places to go and win, other than the Etihad Stadium. So, if they can go and get the win, Arsenal, that'd be huge. Not just because of the 3 points. I actually think that the 3 points come second here. If they can win, imagine the confidence that gives the players, because maybe some of them players are feeling a little bit like imposter syndrome type thing of like, maybe they don't believe that they should be in a title race, because that certainly seemed to be what happened last year when the mentality just completely evaporated and Arsenal completely bottled the title. But if they go and beat Liverpool, I think that'll give the players the confidence that no, you are good enough to go and win the league. So it's more than the 3 points. This is it's not like that for Liverpool. Liverpool know that if Liverpool don't have to win this game, if Liverpool draw the game, everyone knows that Liverpool is still serious and that. But for Arsenal, I think this could be a hurdle, especially because they beat City early on in the season. If Arsenal can go and win this, man, the confidence that has to give the players, that would be absolutely huge.
You know the two most important games for me this season, yeah? Liverpool away and Manchester City away. Going to Anfield and the Etihad. If we can get a win in both those games, that is massive. Because I could tell this team, you know what? We've gone to the grounds of two teams that are serious in this league right now, and we've beat them. And especially if we do the double against Man City, I think that does madness for the players, man. I think it fills them with so much confidence because this is, in my eyes, whatever happens with City right now, how they're playing, I think that's just a purple patch of dropping form and all of that. Right now, if they beat Man City and do the double on them, that is the best team in the world you have just beaten. Done a double over the best team in the world. I mean, bro, for me, that has to be the best confidence booster you can ever have. The best confidence booster you can ever have.
Yeah, but same way you obviously you were talking about Aston Villa a moment ago, shaking your head, saying, "Nah, like, look, I'll give them the respect when they do it." And that, let's just be honest, like, you guys came second one season and they're in the title race again. Like, until you go and do it, like all this talk about, like, will give you confidence and stuff, but ultimately you have to go and deliver on something. So whether that's the Champions League, whether it's the Premier League, you have to deliver on something. For me to go and look at you guys as, you're contending, even if you were to go and beat us at Anfield, which I think statistically it looks like you're not going to. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think tactically, I think the way the game's going to go, I actually think it might go in our favor or be a draw. But until you guys do it, whether you beat City once, City twice, you need to get the job done. And there will be different challenges and different hurdles that come. You might be, you might be up against Bournemouth back end of the season, and that might be a difficult game that you have to overcome, and that's a different challenge in itself. When you know that you got Liverpool, Aston Villa potentially, and City all chasing you. Do you know what I mean? So until you do it, look, fair play to you, good team, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think Arsenal have clicked. Like I said to you before, Sad, I don't think Arsenal have clicked into gear yet. And I think there's got a couple gears more to go. And until you hit those gears, I'm still a bit tentative about Arsenal because you've had, performances where you had obviously the good performance against Luton, and not Luton, Brighton, but then you had the Luton game, which was a bit of a shaky one. Do you know what I mean? So we'll have to just wait and see.
Do you know what? Sorry, Matt. I know you want to go, bro. Sorry. Do you know what the big difference is for us this season? Declan Rice in that midfield has completely changed the way we play. Has completely changed. This guy defensively will put in a masterclass of a performance, and I've even seen him now. He's starting to ping balls across the pitch, and they're falling in front, dead balls in front of the wingers. So Declan Rice is just evolving, getting better and better and better every single game that he plays for Arsenal. He's just getting more better.
Just to ask, just because I want to know from an Arsenal fan's perspective, he's the key to Arsenal winning the game. Like, if he has a good game
for this game,
if he doesn't, for this game coming up,
I think he's the difference from last season. The difference to us winning the game. I think he makes a massive difference just with his confidence and with how he plays and how he tries to the positions that he covers. Because Declan Rice on a pitch will cover so many positions. He'll be covering the line as a DM and trying to intercept passes. Then all of a sudden, one of the centre backs has gone forward and he's playing in their position as a centre back. Then he's playing left back because the left back's inverted into midfield. So Declan Rice covers so many different positions, and sometimes I just look him on the pitch and I look at his movements and how he's reading the game and what position he's going to. He's always in the right place. That's why against Brentford he was able to hit it off the line. That's why against City at home he was able to hit it off the line as well. Make a goal line clearance on 2 occasions because he knows how to read the game, how to be in the right position. He can literally. This guy does not let anything get past him. He doesn't let anything get past him. When he has a bad game, I think that can have drastic effects on us.
Question about Declan Rice. I want to throw it out to the panel. Has he been the best player in the Premier League this season?
Yes.
I
Without
think so,
doubt.
yeah.
Without doubt. He's been better than Rodri this season, although overall, I still think Rodri is the best DM in the world. But right now, Declan Rice is the best DM in the league and the best player in the league, in my opinion, because of the effect that he's had on the team and how consistent he's been and how he's not picked up really any yellow cards at all, like Rodri and Basuma.
What does the panel make of that? Because I see a lot of Arsenal fans talking about it, that he's their best player this season. He's the best player in the league. Like LB, normally it's a City player that's got that, being crowned with that. Do you look at Declan Rice this year and think, do you know what? I can imagine him winning that award at the end of the year?
Maybe. Listen, I think Declan Rice is a good signing. I don't know who I'd say is a top player in the Premier League, but you say he's made you better, but you've got less points than you had last year.
But
So
look at
how's
the
he
goals
made you
conceded.
better?
We've conceded 15 goals.
Well, goals conceded don't win. You know, it's points that win your titles, man. You know what I mean? You just said he's made your team better, yet you've got less points than last year. So how's he made you better?
Points win you games, defense win you titles.
I think that's because of obviously us not scoring at the moment, starting off the season not being as fluid as we were, not being able to knock teams out. Even when we're dropping points because we're not finishing our chances.
Yeah.
Both games that we dropped points. Both what was that?
Yeah, I'm just being facetious. No, I think he's a good player.
But LB, both games that we dropped points, both games, the Aston Villa and the Newcastle, both games, Newcastle first half, I think we could have tucked them away 2-0.
Yeah.
Aston Villa could have been tucked in away 4-5-0, but we just did not take our chances. That's why.
But quick one with in regards to Declan Rice. Yeah, Declan Rice is a good player, but is that more testament to how good Declan Rice has been, or is it the fact that a lot of key players this season have either left the Premier League that were once regarded as the best? You got like Gundogan, you got Mahrez as an example. De Bruyne has been out injured. Do you know what I mean? City haven't been as good as they are. Liverpool are still coming back to their best. Salah hasn't been his best. Are we looking at him saying he's been the best because he's been this standout amongst this group of standout players? Or when you look around in the league right now, it's like, yeah, early in the season we'll talk about Maddison, but he's been injured now, so he's out the running. We're not really talking about De Bruyne. City been on a dip, so Rodri ain't been that great, and now there's this.
But that's kind of like
that are not as good as last year, but are doing well now. And because he's the big signing, he's the marquee signing, and everyone's eyes are on him. It's like cool. And bear in mind, I'm not saying he's a bad player. Like I'm caveating it. I'm saying he's a good player. But
is he really being much better than compared to Xhaka? Yeah, last year Xhaka. Like, how much better is he doing than Xhaka? Because Xhaka was mint.
Xhaka he wasn't a DM for us last season.
Yeah,
but Havertz is his replacement.
Yeah. But Xhaka's still
like a top. Yeah,
but Xhaka's still a top player. Do you know what I mean? So like, and you've replaced there. Yeah, I see what you see. You replace him with Havertz, but like to say I don't know to say that Rice has come in and made you a lot better. I don't know if that's true.
He scored us last minute winners against Man United and Luton away.
Yeah, but no, that's not. No, but that's not how you judge if a player makes you better. You judge on the team.
Of course,
I'm saying
he's made that impact though.
No. I think Rice will make you better in big games. I think in the big games against City, Liverpool, Man United. I think in these games, that's where you'll see the benefit of Rice. I don't think when you're playing Luton Town at home, Sheffield United at home, I don't think that he's going to have too much of an impact on there. I think because some of the best games that I've heard you guys talk about is the big games. And I think that's where you're going to get the biggest impact from Declan Rice. But to say he's the best player in the league, I don't think he's the best player in the league.
But consistently, who has been the best player in the league then?
I'd have to think about it. I don't know. But I don't think he's been the best player.
That's my point. You have to think about it when it's clearly Declan Rice because of how consistent he's been.
Why is it clearly Declan Rice?
Because of how consistent he's been. We've not put a foot wrong in any game this season.
No, but if we're talking about player, then what about how consistent Alisson's been or how consistent Virgil van Dijk's been? Based on how consistent someone is. Like, do you know what I mean?
Vicario is arguably one of the best signings.
Vicario's another one as well. Yeah, that's
incredible.
That's what I'm saying.
Declan Rice was
He's also made a
105
few
million.
mistakes.
Vicario was 17.5. Do you know what I mean?
He's
You've
also
got to
made
put
a
it
few
in
mistakes, though.
What, and
No,
Declan Rice has been
hasn't.
perfect this season.
No, he
He's been
hasn't.
He's
perfect.
been near perfect. He's not made any mistakes.
He has been
He has
perfect.
barely made any mistakes.
Yeah,
He's been
Jay-
perfect.
Jerry,
Oh.
if you find me a game, man. Find me a game
Yeah,
where
bro,
you drop.
find me
50
any
Find me-
mistake Declan Rice has made.
Drop
Declan
the thing
Rice
up,
has been
and-
invisible in a couple of games this season. Maybe
You
for
find
the
me the
majority.
game. You
Yeah.
find me the game, and then I'll hold my hands up. and be
Honestly,
like,
you talk
fair
about
enough.
him like he's the Messiah. Sometimes
Because-
I've seen him and I thought he's good. He's a very good player, but come on.
With the pressure
You're
he's
talking
had,
about him like
with a 100
he's
million
like
price
a
tag on his back,
world-class
players
player
like
and he's
Enzo
been-
Fernandez and other players haven't hacked it, and
But
Declan Rice
that's my
has.
point. But that's my point. That's what I'm saying. He's a good player. He's dealt with that price tag. But it's like this price tag is putting everyone's blinkers are now on Declan
Exactly.
Rice.
Yeah,
like
exactly, man.
he's like
No
he
one
like
thinks
he
of the
like
price
he's this
tag when
golden
you
child.
think of
It's
Declan
like-
Rice. They think of
it's like,
Enzo
no.
Fernandez.
No, but think about it. If you had signed him, if Declan Rice, some unknown player, if some random player that you signed from like the Austrian league had the same performance, you wouldn't be saying he's the best player in the league. You'd be like, Ryan, yeah, he's just underrated. You know, he's a really, really good player. That's what you'd be saying to me. But because he's missed England, he's come from West Ham for a massive price. That whole transfer saga was surrounding Arsenal and West Ham's negotiations for him. City obviously coming in for him as well. The fact you picked City or City backed out of that whole deal, now it's like, yeah, he's got to perform and well done. He's doing well. Do you know what I mean? He's doing well. But are you guys doing better than last season statistically? No. Do you know what I mean? You're like you said, you're needing Declan Rice to go help you score last minute winners, which to me doesn't necessarily mean you guys are performing at an outstanding level. It means that, do you know what I mean, you guys are struggling to get through games and
But
then
that
needing
just shows mentality.
similarly to Liverpool, needing to
And the
get last minute goals. That's why I
determination
look
to
at it.
get that
Can I-
last minute goal.
Can I just quickly let me just because the way he's helped us this season, defensively he's helped. Defensively he's helped. He is part of why that defense is the way it is. Why we haven't conceded as many goals as last season. He is one of the main reasons, as well as Saliba and Gabriel. Of course, you can give your hats off to them as well. Of course,
He's
But
made
he
two
is
goal
one of the
line
main
clearances,
reasons
by the way.
because he is one of the main reasons because of how well he protects his back line. He is the first person you see when you're approaching that back line.
Bro, we all know Declan Rice is a good player, man. No one's saying he's not a good player.
But it's not even just that. It's not even just that. The reason why I'm saying he's my player of the season is because this guy has come from West Ham, a team that does not keep possession. He has come into a possession-based team, and we've all seen what's happened over LB's team. Mateus Nunes has come into that team that keeps possession, and you have to take time to get used to it. Rice has not taken time to get used to nothing. He's
He's the best player in the league, bro.
He's coming, and straight away hit the
That
ground
doesn't
running.
mean, bro, that's irrelevant.
away.
That's irrelevant. That's completely
Straight away,
irrelevant.
hit the ground running. Straight
he's-
away, hit the ground running.
No, that's
Do you know how many
completely
player of the
irrelevant,
matches he has got this season?
Oh
He's got
my
about 9
God.
player of the
My
matches
days,
this season.
Yeah, but Ange Postecoglou got 4 managers of the match on a row. You're not going to say he's the best manager in the league. For God's sake, you're so deluded. Just put your
That was-
head
that-
down a little bit.
The Ange
Rice is a
Postecoglou-
good player.
Ange
But look at
Postecoglou
someone
had
like,
is mad.
look at
He's got
Diarra.
three,
He's coming to Aston Villa from nowhere, and he's been brilliant. Kudos.
He's got
coming
3
to
managers
West
of the month,
Ham,
not 4.
brilliant. Declan Rice was already Premier League proven. And yes, he's done really well at Arsenal. But God, you guys are so cringe. You think everything about your team is the best, and
I
yet you
know.
don't win nothing.
I
I
know.
don't think anything about
That's-
Spurs is
Yeah,
the best. I know that's why we don't win
I'm not
nothing.
even going to go there.
We've got so much chest, and yet all you do is bottle it year
reason-
in, year out.
Okay, 1 second, Kate. Because the thing is, yeah, I say that Declan Rice is the best player so far this season, and you guys say, "Oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?" He has been. There's other players you could put on that level. You could put Vicario. You could bring up James Maddison if he didn't get injured. Do you know what I mean? You could use other players to say, "Oh, you know what? They have been at a level," but Declan Rice has been at a level. I said to you guys, if you guys want to get me a game where he was invisible, I'll say fair enough. Okay, he had games where he was off. But for me, I've watched every single game this season, every single game, Premier League, Champions League, it doesn't matter.
He's also been available every single game played.
Availability, is that what we're saying? No.
Nobody's
stop.
using
Terry, can we
availability.
move on?
Nobody's using availability. Hold
Guys,
on.
look, we
Availability.
are going to leave it there because you could go around in circles. It was great listening to you all debate on that one.